It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and all eyes are on Sam Darnold. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Seahawks and the Saints, and it's coming right up on EA Sports.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and third pick in the 2018 draft.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It's too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
And showcasing those strong legs on that run, getting through one tackle. Now she winds up getting 8 there. Here's Darnold. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll run. It's Kenneth Walker. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. The Seahawks at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. And they come in with fresh legs. They got the extra time off thanks to an early season open week.
And usually your hope is that your open week comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get your fresh legs back, you have to take that time and run with it. And that's what they're trying to get done.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Noah Fant, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Just a 4-play drive that time.
And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Here's Rattler. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. Rattler wants to throw it.
Escaping, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. DeMarcus Lawrence drops him for a loss of 14 yards, and it also brings up fourth down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line.
The Seahawks offense, led by their running back, headed out for the second possession. And he's run the ball well to this point in the season, right there in the mix for NFL leaders in rushing.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10.
And complete to Smith and Jigba.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Play action. It's Darnold. That ball caught by his rookie wideout. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36.
Out of the gun, Walker with it. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Now Darnold. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
Isaiah Foskey brings him down.
They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
See if they do that. Under pressure, they got him again.
Isaiah Foskey.
2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And that is no good. And this will remain a 1-touchdown game.
Trying to build on that opening drive touchdown, but the drive stalls out. And then you get the missed field goal here, so they wind up with nothing to show from drive number 2.
New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive.
And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
On second down, here's the option.
And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Now Rattler.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. DeMarcus Lawrence, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So on 4th down, Matthew Hayball on to punt.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Back to Walker on 1st down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And going right back to Walker.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
46 yards rushing for him now to this point. 3rd down and 1.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to take over at their own 41.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on third down. I mean, you just need a yard or two to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
The New Orleans offense set to take over. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Well, this defense for the Seahawks very strong in that victory a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. They'll throw. Here's Rattler. Olave over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 11 yards there, just like last play.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Toss wide side. This is Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints are an extra point away from drawing level. So a toss play there does the trick as he's into the end zone.
And you don't run this unless you're sure you've got a guy who has the speed who can get to the edge, because what you're hoping for him to win the race to the corner and turn it upfield to the end zone.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown. So 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. 7-7, our score after 1. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. As they've got it as we resume action. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Here's 3rd and 3. They'll try for the first with Walker. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Oh, this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. From the 32-yard line now, here's second down and 7. And Shaheed going to go in motion. To the air is Rattler.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Rattler.
Steps away to his left. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
On third down, he obviously wants to throw the football, but there's nowhere to go with it, so he takes off and goes. And nowadays, to get to the first down marker, he blows right past it and picks up big yardage. Partner, that's a great bit of improvisation.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left.
And they'll fake the jet sweep there and instead hand it Kamara.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
2nd and 6. He'll keep it himself.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Rattler from the gun, third down. That is caught.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 31-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
They will face a 2nd and 9 now following the penalty.
From the shotgun, Rattler. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Already a pair of third down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this third down try.
On play action, Rattler. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. From the gun, here's Rattler.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down.
Rattler working out of the gun.
Touchdown, Saints!
Juwan Johnson
from 4 yards out, and the Saints have taken the lead.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Group E able to add the PAT. And that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Seahawks take back over. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. A tough spot here. 3rd and 15. Here's Darnold. The pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Saints coming out now to take the field. Now their last 2 drives, both ending in touchdowns. It's got them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap. Allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
That big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. Well, right here, they're trying to make it 3 in a row. There's a short one caught by Johnson. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up 3rd and 1. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Got an open man. It's Olave. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's Olave bringing in another one. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Now a timeout as they tend to the injured player, and not the man they would want to see. That's Chris Olave getting medical attention.
And Rattler, he'll throw again. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Back to throw again. Over the middle, complete. It's Johnson. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 19. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the second quarter. And this offense hoping to change that right here.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And his kick here is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7.
So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
We just watched a solid first half from the veteran running back, Alvin Kamara. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Saints going to take over on offense to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Second down, and it's Kamara again.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Infraction, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra hut, you know, that extra emphasis on it, got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
So that last penalty making this 3rd down much more manageable. 3rd down, 4 yards to go.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Flush to his right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he... And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down, They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Cooks will come in motion right.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Here's Rattler. It gets this complete to Shaheed.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
Here's Blake Groupie now for the Saints field goal.
He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7.
Well, they picked up right where they left off from the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work.
And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold.
He'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
They begin on the ground with Kamara.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
It's caught left side by Cooks.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Rattler wants to throw it. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Credit Julian Love with a pass breakup.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Play action. It's Darnold. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Now Rattler. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another 1st down there.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Kamara up the middle. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. They'll throw. Here's Rattler.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. DeMarcus Lawrence able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Open man left side. Shaheed has it.
And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to kick it away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Isaiah Foskey.
Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Now Darnold.
They'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, there defensively to make the play.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. So a change of possession here on the punt. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44.
To the air is Rattler.
Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd down and 3. Throwing is Rattler.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a 1st down.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll set up to throw.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
They're going to look to throw. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll look to throw again. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And they'll send the tight end in motion.
They run the option on 2nd down.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down.
There's Cooks in motion right. And he's going to handle it on the touch pass. Oh, and a great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line.
It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So all things considered, that's not the final nail, but it does make things exceedingly difficult now on the other side.
Yeah, because obviously now with a 16-point game, the other guys don't need just 2 touchdowns. They need a couple of 2-point conversions as well. Plus, they'll need either a turnover or an onside kick in there somewhere. So you're just adding to the list of things that need to happen in sequence. And it's going to be a pretty tall order this late in the game.
Now it's Darnold. Now that'll be caught by Cup. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Here's Darnold.
This one goes underneath to Walker.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. 4th down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time.
That is caught.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Here's Darnold.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Back to throw, Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
To the air again, Darnold. And that's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for the strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Trying to run down some clock with Kamara. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. They run it again with Kamara. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. So Sam Darnold in the offense. Down by 16, 25 seconds remaining. They've won 3 in a row, but they've got work to do if they want to get a 4th in a row as they come up on 1st down.
Here's Darnold.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
And he will get to the sideline here, but that a minimal gain at best. 3 yards, possibly 4. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. And that is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Now Darnold.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee.
So this one a victory here for New Orleans.
And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you said baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for New Orleans, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.